Polarized hits the button. Hit the button. There it goes. In a champ select. And we are ready for some more great action.
Definitely looking forward to it.
It should be another exciting game. As the
First
Quinn band.
ban. Gotta prioritize the Quinn ban. Quinn's pretty strong. Even though we haven't seen her.
We have not seen her yet in any of our games. As she's been banned quite frequently. Is one of the top banned champions, I would venture a guess to say. I'm sure our stats guy will have more on that later in the week. Tristana Leona followed up. Late game carries looking to be taken out with that Tristana. They don't want any of the AD carry type of shenanigans going on.
And Leona has been really strong this whole tournament. We saw her in the very first game of the day as well. I believe the second game as well. Been very strong.
Yeah, definitely very strong. There goes the Fiora, another standard ban. Fiora being a great duelist up in the top lane, able to 1v1 very efficiently. And the Nautilus coming in from last game, gonna get banned out.
Perfect game by last game as well.
It was too. SurpriseJ wants none of that. And the Lux, the long range poke coming out. A lot of long range champions getting taken out. The Mundo insta lock. For SurpriseJ.
Yesterday he was on the winning side of the game. Maybe we'll see that again.
It's a good chance for it. He's very strong with the new Keystone changes. He's very tanky and scary top laner.
That he is.
Jinx looking to potentially get hovered here. The top lane already select Jinx looks to be a priority pick. Thanks for the feed. I'm gonna end up calling these guys pay to feed. I know I will.
It's already been happening.
Hey guys, I just wanted to let you all know we just reached 50 viewers.
50 viewer hype!
Holy cows!
Wait.
Spam the kappas and keepos, boys.
Thanks everybody for coming out and checking it out. We're on day 2 of the second season of North American Amateur League, and we'd be happy for you guys to come back next week as well. But anyways, enjoy the night tonight. We're on game 3 of 5, so we got plenty more action to come tonight. So stick around and have some fun.
Right, and we've already got a couple more picks on the blue side. We already have a Nocturne jungle and an Azir mid. We already have some of those solo lanes picked. Picking right in order, and also we have a Sejuani in the jungle on the red team.
Yeah, so Johnny gonna be, doing, riding that bull around in the jungle, being a very strong jungler. From last season, kind of fell off, but maybe she's picked up some new strategies this season.
Yes, and it looks like Olaf is being hovered as well as and a Victor going straight in after that hover.
Great Victor pick. I love seeing the Victor, the glorious revolution.
Evolution.
I know, but I call it a revolution because he's revolutionizing the mid lane with his first damage.
It looks like picking right in order, an MF and a Taric, looking like a Bard hover. They're gonna just keep trolling.
I'd love to see a Bard, maybe the Blitz crank. We see he's revolutionizing the Emperor, right? He's bringing freedom.
That he is, and it looks like, regardless of the support, MF is locked in on the blue side, so we do have an opportunity to look at that whole composition, and it does look like possibly it's going back and forth between all the decisions.
He's undecisive. Can't decide. Taric, Blitzcrank, Bard. Trying to figure out which one's going to help his team the most and secure the win into the tournament for SurpriseJ, but the Blitzcrank with 1 second left to go is going to get locked in here.
He's going to have to be way more decisive on his pulls as Blitzcrank.
That's going to be he's into a very scary team for a Blitzcrank. I wouldn't want to be pulling 3 out of the 4 members that we've seen so far.
Right, and we have a whole bunch of troll picks down there. I believe we are picking our support out of this team as well.
Unless that is a surprise Victor support, a Sejuani support. I would imagine it's definitely going to support the answer hover switch.
Looks like we're just going down alphabetically.
It does. Here comes Lulu. Maybe Lulu, maybe not.
Ooh, a Jace.
I don't expect it. I don't expect it to be a Jace. but
he's hovering
I
it.
have been wrong before. So we will see what exactly happens. The surprising thing is the new champion, Alawi, was left completely unbanned and got 100% through.
Yeah, and it looks like that Malphite support's coming through, so that's going to be very interesting. Very strong team we have with the red side.
It's crazy. I was hoping for Lulu there. We got hyped up for the Lulu last game. And got shut down then too. Getting shut down again. Getting the cold shoulder. The switch around. They're switching for fun, I guess. Having a little bit of fun before the game. Looks like they're showing a lot of confidence.
That they are.
And maybe even enthusiasm.
Yes, it looks like right now the composition probably is going to go towards the red side with wombo combos out of the window. It looks like red side might already have the advantage, but of course we'll have to wait until we get onto the rift.
We will have to wait and see. There's a lot of damage coming out for Thanks for the Feed. Well, on the other hand, SurpriseJ has a lot of utility on their hands. They got a lot of movement, prevention with the Blitzcrank hooks, with the Azir walls, with the Nautilus spheres.
That is right.
Some surprise damage and mobility that Thanks for the Feed might not be able to handle.
Yes, a lot of gap closers going on here. We have Misfortune that can easily speed up and catch up to him, but as well, Dr. Mundo can easily throw down some beautiful Qs and be able to slow them down just for an easy catch up. This team could do very well with this composition, but both compositions have their strengths and their faults.
Oh, for sure. It's gonna be an interesting skill matchup. To see. Excuse me. There's gonna be a very interesting skill matchup, especially coming out of the mid lane. As the Xerath's gonna look to poke down the Azir, and depending on which jungler can get out first and make that impact on the map, is really gonna decide this. Because the Nocturne, if the Nocturne starts going off and gets his laners fed, even though Thanks for the Feed has a very wombo team, very wombo combo, SurpriseJ is just gonna be able to outperform him if Nautilus gets ahead early.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game. We've seen a lot of the teams pick out some very good team-oriented fights. And hopefully if we see that this is the game that we really need to see, that, the Null winners earlier today, they were able to pull off some very good team-oriented objective play, and that's exactly what we're going to need to be seeing Thanks for the Feed do today.
Oh, for sure. If Thanks for the Feed can get those amazing team rotations that have been the name of the game today, they'll definitely come out on top with this team comp. But if they can't, if their communication's off, if their rotations are just a little bit too slow, SurpriseJ is gonna be able to put a whole lot of hurt on them in their base. The Mundo is gonna be a very scary split pusher, not taking Flash, taking Ghost.
Yeah, and take nothing away from the Olaf that can also do some nice split pushing. It's going to be interesting which team is going to use the split push. I would think that it would probably be SurpriseJ, pull out a surprise pick there, do a very good split push, but Olaf could easily do it as well.
Yes, for sure. 30 seconds to go before we get into another loading screen to get onto the Rift. We are ready and waiting, getting hyped up for this action. I wish I could see what masteries these guys took. I'm very interested to know what the Olaf took to try to counter this Mundo in the top lane. It's going to definitely have a tough time.
For sure.
I'm very interested to see what the Sejani's thinking. It's going to be having to watch her build very closely to understand what type of impact she might make on this game. It's going to have crucial ultimates, I would imagine, around some of these dragon fights when everyone starts to clump up. But whether she can follow that up, it still remains to be seen.
Yes, and as we're loading in the Rift, guys, thanks everyone that comes out. I'm not exactly sure on the current count of people on the stream, but we have had 2 records broken today. We had about 45, I believe, to break the record, and then we had 50, around 50, that actually broke the all-time record for the stream.
Oh, that's great. It's great stuff.
It's a great start to day 2 of the North American Amateur League. Round robin picks, as you can say.
Oh, for sure. Round robin picks, qualifiers. whatever they are, whatever it is, we're looking to see some teams win, secure their spots in these tournaments, and have a good tournament later. And have some good games for today, too. You know, keep the action rolling. Last 2 games have been very action-packed games. The first game coming out with almost 50 kills, I think, across the board. And the last game, a pentakill, almost 2 pentakills coming out.
Yes, and that pentakill was the second pentakill that we've ever had in the North American Amateur League. So huge kudos to that Vayne player.
Hopefully this game continues with the action. Get a little non-stop rumble in the jungle going.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting.
Yes. We should have a good time no matter what. Even if it's a slow game, I'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. We'll all have a good time, but the teams will just be boring. And we don't want any of that. So,
yes, it's going to be very interesting. Maybe we can even see some very close competition. We had that, of course, with the Hodors and the NAL winners. Hopefully we can see that again. I mean, last game was a complete stomp, but it was actually a very interesting and very entertaining stomp. So maybe we can get a mix of the two.
We were able to learn a lot. We were able to learn a lot last game for sure. Definitely watching some of the VODs are going to help some of these teams. And, you know, there's a lot of comfort picks on these for these teams as well. There was four high masteries.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting.
So they are on their comfort pick as well as very strong champions. But we'll see how that works out for them. Both teams have got their items out onto the Rift. We're on game number 3 of the North American Amateur League Season 2, Day 2. Ready for some great action.
That we are. And it looks like the Nocturne, it looks like blue team, SurpriseJ might actually pull some deep wards. Looks like a blue ward in that bush.
Yeah, that's just a regular ward coming out. There's 4 men down the bottom lane. Victor's helping them out, kind of spotting another ward over the wall to kind of spot. And we might finally see some level 1 action. I am ready and I am waiting for it. The team that initiates a level 1 action has got the game in my book, even if they lose it. Because I love seeing level 1s go at it. All of the rune choices, the mastery choices, and the skill choices, you have to make it level 1. For level 1 fight, and the execution is just a lot, and I love seeing teams try to pull it off.
Yeah, of course, and this is actually the game we'd see it, actually, I think, with the Blitzcrank in the support position, getting those grabs and getting an invade, but it doesn't actually look like we'll get that about standard vision for the early game.
Yeah, Blitzcrank not being very aggressive this game, playing it rather passive. As the minions come out onto the Rift, the mid lane minions are clashing as we speak, and here pops up the jungle camps.
Yes, and it looks like we're going to be having a blue jungle and standard jungle pick so far. For both
standard
teams.
Across the board, that's for sure. I'm really excited and waiting to see some amazing Blitzcrank hooks. The picks, the hooks have just been excellent so far throughout the day. I'm hoping to see another one, and maybe we'll just get lucky.
Yes, it's just that's what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting though. Hopefully the red team, excuse me, actually has a really good potential. Hopefully get that Malphite in front of the Jinx, and hopefully he'd be the one to be grabbed by the Blitzcrank, because that would be a bad pull for them to actually pull off.
You want to pull in a rock and then find an unstoppable force to your face. Go ahead and pull in that support. That would be a bad idea. Blitzcrank definitely going to have to slot his hooks rather well. Going to have to become a marksman with that. Going to pull in the Malphite as we speak. Malphite going to get chunked to half health. Does not have the tank items yet.
And that taunt, that's all Malphite's been doing in this lane, is taunting and taunting it up.
He definitely does not have much of an impact in the early game as a support. Does not really have any utility to provide on the table.
Yes, it looks very interesting, and it looks like it's about really close with CS so far. Not that big of a difference between each solo lane.
No, not much difference at all. All of our action really happening down in the bottom lane as the mid laners content to just farm up. No real poke going from either side. Top lane, the same thing. Mundo just trying to farm up. Olaf allowing him to do it, I would say.
That
So
he
Blitzcrank
is.
is going to be our highest point of action. Actually, as we say that, here comes Johnny top. The Olaf getting low. The Mundo getting low. Burning himself down. The Olaf going to be able to take it up the axe with
That perfect
Ow.
first blood there.
Let's take it with the axe. In case anybody misheard that.
Yeah, and that's already going to be a difference up top with about about 6 creep score difference, and of course that kill. It's going to be hard for Dr. Mundo to get back into this lane if Olaf continues to play this way.
Yeah, Olaf. Oh, the Blitzcrank hook barely missing. Yeah, I said take it at the axe on accident. But Malphite gonna get knocked out. The Blitzcrank and Malphite both taking a lot of damage. Both supports being the focus here.
As we see that challenge, that taunt of mastery skill between the two. But it looks like it's a pretty even battlefield down there. Not much difference in CS yet. Of course, it's only 4 minutes into the game. 4 minutes and 20 seconds, of course, 4:20. But it looks like still just back and forth taunting between the supports.
Oh, for sure. Olaf getting a little bit ahead, so Johnny was there to help if needed, but Olaf able to solo that one out. Again, we see another solo fight. Mundo could be in a little bit of trouble. Olaf pushing him right out of the wave. And Mundo gonna have to circle all the way around again. So now Jinx taking a lot of damage from that double up as Mundo tries to get some XP in the top lane. Try to get some scraps left or whatever Olaf
And it
leaves
looks
him.
like, oh, it looks like Nocturne's right up in there. Where we're gonna be able to see this going in. Looks like Olaf can easily get away from this, but it doesn't look like it's gonna stun.
get feared here with the Mundo cleaver slowing him down. The Mundo gonna finish it with the basic attack and even in and back out that lane. Great jungle play to help his laner get back in it in what was a very lost lane.
Yes, and it looks like Olaf is actually going to have to do a lot better job. He's got to watch for that Nocturne, especially if he's going to be playing forward so much.
Oh, the big Malphite hook under the tower. Blitzcrank doing work. The exhaust coming out. The double exhaust. MF looking for one more hit. Gets it. Jinx on the run now. Jinx trying to finish out the Blitzcrank. The Blitzcrank shield comes out. Jinx still running away. The Misfortune not able to do enough damage to really stop that. The Sojani's on her way through Tribush at the moment.
Yeah, and it's going to be down on that mana.
Here she comes. MF, no mana. Potentially might have to flash out. Does not have to flash out. The turret's right there. Blitzcrank, though.
Flash.
Gonna have to use it.
Yeah, and I think that came down to the pure not enough mana for Jinx to actually do that nice rocket hits to Blitzcrank to get him down low enough. But if mana would have been different, the whole fight could have been different.
And if the levels were a little bit different, if that was a level 6 Jinx, she may have had a rocket to do it. Mundo taking a lot of damage as he's chunked to half health inside of his own minion wave. The minion's doing a lot of work, though, early as Olaf takes a lot of damage in return. The Mundo, level 6 now.
Like
he's going to pop his ultimate. He's burning away. He's going to not get it as Olaf barely finishes it off as Mundo burned himself down too much and was not able to get that last auto attack.
Yeah, I think our top lane, we were saying earlier that the bottom lane was going to be the most action-packed, but so far it's been that top lane going back and forth. Olaf getting the first kill, Mundo the second, now the third back to Olaf. Maybe we see another kill to Mundo, but I think that'll require a Nocturne to actually get involved up there.
I think Nocturne's going to be required top lane again. Let's see if he can't repeat what he did earlier in the game and help his top laner out. Mundo is trying to be aggressive. He's trying to make an impact in this game, but so far, it's only been hurting him and his team. Bottom lane, we see Sojani going for another jungle invade. Gonna ward up that Tribush. Gonna get spotted up by that Scuttle Crab as Azir's like, I don't care that you're there in the bottom side of my jungle. I'm going in for an invade.
Yeah, it looks like Azir's going to be picking up Wraiths, but it actually looks like he's going back and forth.
He's still going.
Yeah, get that nice deep vision with the Vision Ward. So far, Vision Wards have been the nuisance of this tournament.
Popping the ultimate. Here comes Nocturne. The fear is going to hit. Nocturne going to go down, though. Mundo gets the cleaver as Sojani takes the red buff.
Yes. It's going to be a nice game. Looks like when one team gets a pick, the other one just gets straight back into it.
Nocturne definitely played that one a little bit wrong as he died for the gank. Not something you want to do when you come in. Should have been a 1-for-0, but it ended up being a trade 1-for-1. The Olaf with some exceptional play to, come out ahead again.
Yeah, and this is actually going to be really interesting going forward. Both Dr. Mundo and Olaf can actually get pretty snowbally for both of them, so we'll be able to see what's going on. But it looks like there's a fight in the
looking
bot
for a
lane.
hook. Gonna get the mouth fight. They're level 6. They're only level 5. The level advantage is gonna do work. The MF ultimate plus the auto attack is gonna drop down. This is Johnny's in a little bit of trouble though. As Nocturne chases him right into 2 as the Blitzcrank gonna knock her up, and Nocturne finishes it off. So Johnny had no idea where you were going.
Yeah, so Johnny got caught up after getting that red, and also wasted a flash trying to get away from that.
Wasted a lot of summoners. I'm not sure why she ran through the lane. Oh, when she could have ran over the dragon or up through the river, but hand feeding this misfortune here.
Yes, and actually this game's going to be very interesting. Coming out with the Jinx ult.
Jinx Rocket not going to do it as Blitzcrank soaks it up. It's a bold strategy.
Yeah, not sure exactly what they're
him
doing
up.
there.
MF, but we'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, so far this game's very interesting. There's not that much of a CS difference. They're all right about the same, and this is actually in the past couple games we've been seeing quite a bit of difference between the teams in CS. But we're seeing about even games, kills for kills. Bot lane is going a little bit ahead.
Bot lane is coming a little bit ahead as they're going to be able to shove a wave into the turret. So Johnny is going to be around the dragon area to make sure they're safe. She actually is taking that dragon. As she tries to solo it, she's taking a lot of damage for it. The bot lane's gonna come up to try to help. The Jinx, meanwhile, gonna clear out the wards in the Tribush. MF not gonna be able to come over. Here comes the Blitzcrank, though. We'll see if he gets a nice hook over the wall. Johnny getting rather low. With
The vision is there.
Here he comes. He's gonna get the hook.
Steal Smite.
Gonna be able to kill her solo. The
20
MF
down.
and the Azir gonna be able.
Oh,
to
Victor's able to secure it.
Victor takes it up. MF cleaning up the back line though, as here comes Nocturne. Malphite forced all the way, but Victor was the target. Gonna get focused down. Nocturne playing out huge. Olaf forced a flash up top. There's action going on everywhere.
Yes, and actually, that dragon totally was not worth it for this red team, dropping down 2 of their main people as well as Sejuani. So it was a 3 for dragon right there.
Holy crap. Everything's going on all at once. No time to breathe. SurpriseJ really bringing it to Thanks for the Feed. Thanks for the Feed living up to their name a little bit here. As that dragon played, they barely got it. They almost lost it. But they traded out too many members in return.
And finally, we're going to be losing that vision ward in there that was placed by Azir about 2 minutes ago. So ward won't be surviving just as long as the blue vision ward will be down by the Scuttler.
Very true, very true. So Johnny doing a nice cleaning up in her jungle. Gonna try to come back out and make a better impact in this game. So far, she's made, I would even say, a negative impact for her team, as she's not really been that productive. Instead, just sort of feeding kills over. We have a 2-man top as both junglers are looking for something top. Nocturne's gonna walk right into Sejuani into a ward. Olaf and trying to lay down the pain, but the Mundo turns it around. So Johnny had to come in to help as Olaf was in trouble. Nocturne's looking for the jump, but Olaf wisely backs off.
Yes, and in this team so far, the only hope that I see so far for Thanks for the Feed will actually be in their top lane, and I think that he has the kill advantage about the even spacing.
That double up damage was disgusting as Jinx lost almost half of her health for 1 skill. That is gonna look a scary spell later in the game.
Important to notice there's a 4K gold lead right now by blue team. There's been 1 dragon picked up by red, but so far there's not been a single turret down.
That is true. No turrets down. The wave clear proven too strong for both sides. Mundo's gonna be able to crash a wave into that top turret as Jinx crashes the wave into the bottom. Gonna get a little bit of damage down, but just not enough to do any real harm. Uh-oh, MF maybe getting dope here. She's solo. Blitzcrank is nowhere to be found. The Malphite goes in, followed by the Sejuani. The MF gonna ultimate, but the Jinx Rocket gonna be able to secure it out. Malphite barely gets out. The Blitzcrank is looking to carry. Sejuani gonna get knocked up. Blitzcrank's looking for the hook on the Malphite. Not able to find it. Gonna have to hook Sejuani. Here comes the Mundo on the teleport. Gonna get exhausted. The Olaf gonna answer back with the teleport. The Nocturne coming in with the ultimate to try to take the Sejuani as he fears the Jinx back. Gonna be able to get the Jinx back though. Malphite takes a cleaver for the Jinx. still gonna die under turret.
But Olaf is full health going in on that Nocturne,
Oh, here
picking up
comes
that
the Olaf.
shutdown gold.
Gonna be able to get it. Nocturne goes down to Victor, going deep under turret after getting
And
repositioned.
Victor picked up that kill.
Here, oh, Victor gonna be able to pick it up with the vortex.
And it looks like Olaf is going to be able to pick up this kill they're going for, and it looks like they're going to successfully pick it up, and it just barely getting out alive.
He gets out, losing the Jinx and the Sejani for a three-man trade is crazy.
Very good turnarounds back in the bot lane, and of course we can't ignore that mid lane kill that was secured by his Victor. Excuse me.
A great one-on-one, or great solo kill. 1 versus 1 in the mid lane. Really proving what skills he's got, what mechanics he has on the Victors. Even after getting positioned under the tower, was able to secure that kill. It was excellent play.
Yes, and we're just barely in this game, and we can't even ignore how this Play-to feed can get into it, but it looks like a fight's getting broken out.
Yeah, fight's going on his bottom lane, and so Johnny's looking for a gank. Not very effective, as Blitzcrank says no. And MF just deals out the damage. Thanks for the feed is gonna have to go back and heal that one up. It's blue pill time for you guys. As the gank really didn't help. Jinx just came back to lane and already going back to the fountain.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because we haven't even gotten to see, thanks to Feed's actual team fight advantage that they might have with their combos, but it looks like it's gonna be this Olaf. It's all on Olaf's shoulders because he's starting to snowball. 6-2, you can't stop it.
With 6 kills, it's definitely going to be a threat coming out in the lane. Meanwhile, the rest of his team practically has a timeshare at the fountain. They're practically living there.
Yeah, so that blue going over to Victor. And it looks like Victor actually might be pulling ahead in this mid lane, which is actually a pretty good thing for this team.
That is very good. Victor Olaf is going to be scary to deal with. If Victor can kind of go off, it'll help his team really stay in this. We have 2 members on the Thanks for the Feed team, being strong, while the SurpriseJ, their whole team is really strong. So it's really 5 average strongness players versus 2 very strong players. So we'll see how the teams kind of incorporate that into the strategies coming into the late game here, or the mid game.
Right, and as we saw in the login screen, as the fight's breaking out, Sejuani's going to be able to get out of that, not able to secure anything there. But as I was saying, as we saw on the loading screen, we do have some masteries. I believe 4 of them team members of Thanks for the Feed was actually level 5 mastered.
That is true. Yeah, if I am correct, I believe. Oh, wait a second. Blitzcrank, huge hook over the wall. Jace forced the flash. The MF ultimate gonna pick up the kill. The Blitzcrank hooks.
Yes, that MF is going to be 4-1 now, and this will actually be a very close thing there.
The SurpriseJ gonna be able to pick up the dragon for that pickup. And as I was saying earlier, somebody check and see if I'm wrong in this, but I believe Sejani had a mastery level 5.
I believe she did.
So, which is crazy. Surprised at that. Definitely has a lot of games on Sejani, but not making an impact in this one.
Yes, this far. She has not. But it looks like we're going to have a fight down to the bottom going in for that dive. And it looks like an ultimate from Malphite. Blitzcrank's getting shredded. Jinx ultimate going down. And it looks like Blitzcrank will be getting down by Sejuani.
Oh, Blitzcrank's going to make his way out, but Victor's going to be there to do it. MF try to dive into the turret. Blitzcrank's still trying to get on his way out. He may go coast to coast in this one, knocking up the Sejani. The Jinx going to turn it around. Here comes Victor. Goodbye,
Victor
MF.
Looking for that double kill, popping the ultimate. Doesn't look like it's going to be secured. Not going to go in that turret. Not going to make the same mistake they did there. And finally, Sejuani picking up that kill. And a little emote. I think that emote is not really qualified for that champion at this moment.
Down goes the Blitzcrank, not able to make his grand escape as the tower dive goes completely wrong for SurpriseJ there. They had a big advantage, but playing like that is not going to be able to help your team.
Yeah, and speaking of advantages, as you can see, the gold lead is kind of getting close. So not barely even a K lead there, and the kills are actually getting about the same. And actually, everything's about equal out, other than that turret. First turret of the game dropped.
Turret of the game.
Thanks for the feed.
Thanks for the feed. Definitely coming back into this one. some, big misplays from SurpriseJ. Really giving it back to Thanks for the Feed. Giving him a hand into this.
Yes, but this Olaf is still looking strong, having that 3-kill lead as well as about a 7 creep score lead. And that Vision Ward that's been there the whole game is finally getting cleared by that Malphite. Good on him.
Vision Ward's definitely helping out this game, able to spot out rotations on the map, and really just having secure laning phase for a lot of these teams. Yeah, we see 21 kills on the game, but the junglers really haven't made too much of an impact. The Nocturne's definitely made more of an impact to Sejani. As we speak, Sejani's going for that Rift Herald. We're seeing the second one taken of the North American Amateur League. Mundo's going to try to stop that. Meanwhile, MF way out of position bot lane as Malphite goes in for the ult. The Jinx tries to heal to catch up to it. The Rift Herald.
There's a fight with Rift Herald. Going in, Azir going down, then getting the shutdown on the Olaf. Sejuani getting picked up by Azir. Azir getting that double kill in the Baron pit.
Jinx going to be able to pick up MF with the rocket. I'm not sure who the Herald went down to, but we'll figure that one out later. Here comes SurpriseJ for the kill on the mid turret. That's a good
I
answer.
actually believe it was on Olaf or Sejuani.
Very potentially well could be, because I don't see the buff on anyone. The Nocturne barely gonna go down thanks to the minions. And
Yeah,
the
and
burns to Victor.
Looks
Good
like we're
answer.
going to have a dual threat here with the Victor and Olaf. But of course, MF
Yeah,
looks
a
like
little
the
bit-
strongest person there.
Oh, the TP coming in bot lane to secure that turret, a little bit unnecessary, as that was a wasted cooldown. Victor's trying to siege the mid lane here, as all the members are forced to back. So Johnny's going to go top to soak up a wave. But thanks
Yeah,
for
and
the
that-
feed is answering back what SurpriseJ had to offer, keeping this a very close game.
Yeah, and that top lane may have actually had to pay a little bit too much for that TP down bottom because that whole wave was able to get hit, and it looks like that turret is going to be about half health from that wave.
Yeah,
So a little pick and choose there.
Yeah, a lot of minions to lose for no effect on a summoner spell. That's a long cooldown. He's going to have to wait before he really provides that impact again on that split push. Could be an opportunity here for SurpriseJ.
Yes, and Baron's now live, so there won't be another opportunity to pick up that Rift Herald, but it looks like we're trying to get again in their jungle, leaving some side trinkets back in there just so he knows if Sejuani's going to come back in. Again, another Vision Ward being dropped by Mundo in that top lane.
So Johnny definitely making a lot of good use out of her jungle item. Gonna look to try to potentially take this blue buff steal. She's gonna get it with the smite. As MF looks to take the bottom turret. So Johnny makes an escape out. Mundo could not collapse in time. And great jungle invade.
Ooh, and a miss by that Blitzcrank pull. That was the great escape done right, and it looks like that might be something that you can possibly
Malphite
get
gonna
out
ult the MF. That's another dead MF. Can't quite pick up the Jinx kill as she tries to trade it around. And thanks for the feed. Doing some work coming into the mid to late game.
Yeah, and this game looks like it'll actually be a very close and entertaining game as well.
We see
We might have
another
gotten our
jungle
win.
invade going down as Nocturne's jungle is not his. So Johnny steals it again. Nocturne's on the run. The Victor gonna secure the kill as
Yes.
Johnny's starting to do work.
And now we have Victory at 4-1 and Olaf at 6-3. Now, as you can see, the CS is actually going to be... Whoa! That was a crazy
crap.
one.
Burn the flash. Jinx still had the heal. The heal might have kept her alive, but decided to flash instead. Mundo and Olaf gonna whack at each other in the jungle right in front of the Baron. Mundo not getting the better end of that trade. Blitzcrank gonna try to come up and help. He's trying to get out,
but that
he
Azir.
burns himself down. The Azir gonna keep him alive. MF chasing down the
Oh
Victor.
my
The Victor
God!
gonna turn around. As here
Crazy
comes Malphite.
ultimate right there.
No ultimate on the Malphite. The Blitzcrank's gonna be in a little bit of trouble as his passive shield keeps him alive for a couple seconds longer. Able to allow Azir to escape as they split. But here comes Victor looking for the tower, and I'm gonna get it with the laser.
Yes, and I think this is where we're looking at the chance to, like, this is where that team fight advantage of the composition comes out. Very strong for thanks to the feed.
The SurpriseJ not able to do enough in the early game to cement their victory coming into this late game as Dragon looks to get taken. Number 2 for Thanks for the Feed looks to get taken here. As Nocturne is the
does.
only one in position to really answer this, to see if maybe he goes for a smite. Does not look like it. Content to take his red buff.
They actually have no vision on this, so that was actually a pretty free dragon. The only vision that they had was up there more inside the red side jungle. Another thing to keep note though is there is actually a CS difference between the top as well as the Jinx. There is about a 10 CS in the bottom lane, about 20 in both lanes actually, so it's really interesting to see that.
That's true, and meanwhile in the top lane, Olaf and Mundo still want to fight each other. They're like 1v1 me, bro, and they're going to do it all game. Mundo looks to get the lead in that. It's very tough to tell, but Mundo definitely came out on top. MF forcing the heal out of the G. He's going to have to cancel her ultimate and flash away as Malphite looked for the ultimate to finish her off. But here comes Blitzcrank looking for the pools. Jinx not going to be able to finish off the rocket. Nocturne going to be able to help the Blitzcrank down. The Fear is going to proc, and that's going to be a dead Jinx as Malphite's on the...
And also a pick up by Olaf on that Mundo, and it looks like he could actually possibly pick up a top lane turret out of that, as it is pretty low and he has the minion advantage.
That is true. Olaf won the 1v1 me, bro.
So, 2 kills and a turret.
Holy crap, Victor is disgusting as he chunks out Azir and forces that blue pill. Back to the fountain.
Yes, and now we actually are seeing a pretty big lead coming out by Thanks for the Feed with about 3 kills and as well as almost a 1k gold lead.
That is a very strong Victor and a very strong Olaf. They're going to be tough threats to handle here later in the game, here in the late game. We'll see if the Blitzcrank can't find any more picks, try to keep his team in this. I wouldn't even say in this, get the advantage for his team, as both these teams are very even at the moment. This can go either way, depending on how crucial some of these objectives might be. Thanks for the Feed has the dragon advantage.
Yes, and there is also a turret advantage, but also that means there is a lot of standing gold on the side of SurpriseJ as well.
That's very true. Potential for a top tower and a bottom tower to go down for some easy gold for SurpriseJ. Mundo may be in a little bit of trouble here, as there's 3 men from Thanks for the Feed gonna look to pressure him out. A little war coverage on Baron.
And it would be interesting to see a Baron fight this early on.
I don't think it would be very profitable for either team. Malphite getting chunked pretty low. The Jinx Rocket comes out of nowhere. Malphite gonna get hooked in, force the ultimate out to try to do some damage. Here comes Victor, gonna try to do work. Azir gonna look down to chunk Malphite down. Knocker secures the kill. Blitzcrank gets rooted up. Azir wall gonna push him back. Blitzcrank trying to get out of there. Victor doing work on the back line as he picks up 2 with a great ultimate. Olaf gonna try to finish it up with the axe. Barely misses 2 axes as the Blitzcrank speed gonna get out. The Victor not able to get there with the laser. So Johnny's trying to tower dive. That's not gonna have enough to do it. And the Jinx, since she wasted her rocket early, is not gonna be able to secure any of those kills.
Right, and it looked like that fight actually started out by SurpriseJ actually targeting that Malphite support. So when in doubt, focus the rock and see how it goes.
Exactly. This Victor is doing work as Nocturne forced the flash out and just getting chunked.
I think that flash was a little bit unnecessary there. It was a little bit out of range, I think, for the Victor to do anything with it.
This is just nasty. This Victor is bringing the pain.
Yes, and
this fire in his lasers, that's for sure.
That is, and we've actually looked at this game and we've said, well, the bottom lane is going to be where it's all at, and it's kind of has been for the very beginning, and then mid-game actually went over to the top lane, but it looks like the actual defining role in this game will be that mid-lane Victor. With those 8 kills and 1 death, an amazing KDA to be rocking.
If that Victor can stay on the back line and keep out of the focus of SurpriseJ, he is going to be doing a lot of work.
Yeah, so now
Thanks for the Feed team.
We're about ready to hit the 30-minute mark, and we already have about a 4k gold lead coming over for Thanks for the Feed.
That is true. Both teams very content just to farm up. Another 1v1 still happening in the top lane. Olaf and Mundo just can't get enough of each other.
And it looks like Malphite's going to be coming up here as well.
Malphite's going to try to come out and help, but Mundo's going to get out. He's still got his W on to really reduce the effectiveness of his ultimate, but Blitzcrank gonna shut that Victor down. MF secures the kill. Blitzcrank did all the work.
Yes, that team gold goes over for 450 on getting that kill. Great kill pick up there. And it looks like they're going to be going off on Olaf as well, throwing down that ultimate, going to
Comes
get
up Blitz,
pulled.
Hook. Gonna get it. Down he goes.
And see, this is where it's getting down to it. Thanks for the Feed has that very strong team fight ability, and they've been showing that this whole game. But right now they're kind of slacking, letting those kills getting over by SurpriseJ. Let's hopefully that doesn't happen for this team, as that is a worrying trend.
That is true. It's definitely a worrying trend. As SurpriseJ is keeping themselves in this. Every time I think one team has an advantage, the other team brings it back with some solid play. A 3-man Blitzcrank barely missing the hook.
Yeah, Sejuani getting out of there. It looks like top lane's going to be going down. Second turret of the game for SurpriseJ, as it is going to pale in comparison to the 5 turrets picked up by Thanks for the Feed.
They're trying to get that gold wherever they can off the map. That's an easy turret to get. Maybe even get the bot lane turret next as Dragon comes up in 5 seconds. Ping's already going down on it.
Yeah, it looks like red team's going to be prioritizing that first as we see the pings, but it looks like blue's going to go and try to get it. There's a lot of vision inside that bottom side, blue side jungle.
Here the wards come out right now, so Johnny's on her way down. Baron already gonna, or the Dragon already gonna get started up. The smite's on its way. Collapse from SurpriseJ here. So Johnny gonna go in already. Azir gonna look to do some poke damage. Olaf gonna secure the Dragon without the help of the smite. The Blitzcrank pulls him out fight. Gonna get a 2-man ult onto the back line. Think they're gonna pick up the Nocturne. Blitzcrank shortly follows. Azir answers with a Sejuani, pushing back the Olaf. And meanwhile, MF getting hurt up in the red buff.
Yeah, and it looks like Victor's picking up that triple kill, and it looks like he's gonna be going for more. Can we see another quadra of the night? It looks like we might.
There's still 2 up there, depending on
There
how
are.
this goes. They may be looking to dive, although the Mundo ultimate gonna keep him alive.
Yeah, Mundo is too tanky to soak up all that damage. But getting up that Dragon, only dropping 1 on the side of Thanks for the Feed. Looks like it's gonna be a very strong game for Thanks for the Feed as they look to hopefully end this game soon while they have the power on their side.
Well executed one-sided fight for Thanks for the Feed right there. Victor was able to stay untouched the entire fight and soak up 3 kills.
Yes,
Wow,
and even the
SurpriseJ
Malphite was able to survive.
Yes, very true.
And it looks like the vision's getting very clear. There's about even warding between the 2 teams.
There's a lot of great ward coverage. Both teams keeping it up even this late into the game. Definitely making effective use of their trinkets. Blitzcrank, though, gonna find the Victor in the jungle. That's exactly what they want. The Mundo's there to help. The shield, the barrier, gonna keep him alive for a couple seconds later until MF.
Yeah, almost pulled that kill around 2 for MF, but it was just a little bit too short there with the health.
Not quite bursty enough as it is. I'm not sure he can solo out a champion with 1 hit.
And it looks like getting some vision on there. Of course, Thanks for the Feed, looking to get that next objective. They've had just about every objective so far, so why not go for a Baron here soon, as they are controlling the pit.
They are getting ready for their Baron dance. They're suiting up. They're lacing their shoes. But deciding to push down the mid lane a little bit beforehand. The dance can wait.
Yes, and there is that 1 ward there by the blue team in that river bush. Might tell the difference if they decide to go that way for blue team to get ready, but so far that's the only ward there by blue.
That's very true. They don't really have the vision of it, so if Thanks for the Feed really want to bait it out, well, they could. I'm not sure they know they don't have vision of it. Here comes Blitzcrank to really answer to that vision. Going to be able to clear out 2 wards with that scanner.
Yes.
Great placement of the scanner. Actually, it was on him. He just didn't need to move.
Yeah, those nice changes of the preseason of Season 6 catching up to us.
That is true. Starting to finally learn some of the items and what the spells do. We'll get there eventually. So Johnny and team looking to siege down this mid lane. Malphite taking a little bit of poke damage. Half health, actually. As MF comes with a big double up damage.
Yes, and this will be a lot of stats for the stat guy to take care of.
Wouldn't want his job next week, that's for sure. 5 games
Oh, for
today.
And it'll even get more crazy when we get to the tournament stage of this whole tournament.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Best of 3s, good luck.
Oh, yes.
But that's why we pay him the big bucks.
Of course, all the money we can have. And of course, If you guys are new to the stream, thanks for coming out. Go ahead and follow us on here and go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and follow us on Twitter for all those kinds of different updates. We are going to be having, this is the kind of round robin. You win, you're in, you lose, you're out. And then after that, we're going to be seeded into a tournament. The winner gets some RP and some coaching lessons for their 5v5 team.
A great prize for the winners. And it's just some great games to come and watch. I love watching League of Legends, the experience, as this game takes a little bit of a slow feel. It's kind of the pace crawled on down.
Right about after that 30-minute mark, we've gotten into the slow pace, but it looks like we're going to have a scary push there, and it's going to be ruined.
Fnatic push spotted out.
Swiper, no swipey, Swiper, no swipey, and Fnatic getting pushed out of that bush.
Look, I'm on CV. Too bad the summoner spell got taken out of the game, but still making effective use of that blue trinket that replaced it. The siege is going to happen on this inner turret. Johnny's trying to get it. Blitzcrank going to stop her up after the minions are gone. You stayed a little bit too late.
I think that was a 5-man ult there by Sejuani, but nothing to back up with that turret just sitting there.
I think it was too. SurpriseJ got some bacon for dinner tonight as that boar got roasted. Nocturne trying to take the Jinx out mid lane. Gonna get trapped up. As the Chomper's doing work, keeping Jinx alive.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. And so far there's been a lot happening, but we're almost to the end of the game. I can't say this is going to be a good game because it's already been.
It's already been a great game as we are 35 minutes into the game and we have less than 1,000 gold in between these two teams. It's going to make for a very long game and a very exciting late game. Still anybody's game.
Yeah, of course. And of course, so far we've already had some people qualify for that tournament. Teams like Team Digital Esports and Requiem have both blazed through their qualifying matches. And those teams will be looking like a very, very hard opponents to be in that tournament bracket.
A little bit of banter coming out from the chat, from the audience. As we continue to make our way through this game, slowly but surely, the team's really trying to figure out what their next move is. As thanks for the feed. Looking to try to take number 4 Dragon. SurpriseJ not really in the position to answer this.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be another pretty good Dragon picked up. Getting the War Vision a little bit too late, and Victor's able to secure that Dragon.
Victor able to secure that up as the Jinx forced to heal. MF almost stole this.
Yeah,
again,
that was the second one he
boomerang.
secured.
No boomerang mean no Dragon Steel.
Yes, and to answer the question, we will I believe we are not having qualifiers next week, and I believe all the qualifiers in 2 nights, so we'll actually have the bracket here soon this coming week.
We may have a few more qualifier games. I'm not sure. Leo keep you guys updated in chat.
Yes, of course, so always follow these lead.
Here we go. Next week we'll have a losers bracket and possibly part of the quarterfinals of the tournament. So tune in. It should be good next weekend for sure.
Yes, get some of those returning teams that didn't actually make it, but we'll get to see where are they now and see what they improved.
That is true. Here comes Olaf with the ultimate. They're looking for a mid-fight. Malphite all gonna whiff. Gonna get knocked out by the Blitzcrank. The Azir Wall gonna push him on back. So Malphite getting low. The focus not really there for SurpriseJ as Jinx trying to knock him down. Malphite gonna get killed by the Nocturne as Olaf answers it out. The Azir turret to it work as he picks up 2. MF Wall gonna whiff as well.
Yeah, the 2 damage dealers didn't actually get any damage done to Victor's getting that Azir. And that turnaround, it looks like Olaf's going to be able to pick up Dr. Mundo like he has the whole game. Excuse me, Victor just picking up that double kill, and they're actually going to go into that Azir turret getting a triple kill for Victor, second of the game.
Holy crap, that turnaround was something. A 3 for 4, not even really a clean, decisive fight for either team, as it was really anybody's fight for the longest time there. Victor again stayed untouched on the back line.
Olaf as well had a lot of health in that fight as well.
Yeah, SurpriseJ just not able to get down to the carries where they need it. As you see, Jinx was the last one to fall, and the 3 that did fall. And you really want her to be the first or second.
Yes, that was the only lapse of actually protecting the backline that we've seen, but it looks like the 2 main fed people are still alive. Victor with that 14-3-2 amazing record right now for him to actually be boasting about.
Victor's definitely on a roll and doing work for his team. With the support of the Olaf, it's going to be a scary threat. Would not want to get caught in the back alley with him.
Yeah, so it looks like we're actually going to be seeing Baron getting hit up by Thanks for the Feed. This will actually be interesting. Blue's going to be a little bit late to the party as they try to blaze this thing down.
That is true. They're going to look to try to chunk this down. The teleport going to come in. Going to get stopped up immediately. The three-man Malphite ult. The Wombo coming in. The MF going to try to do some damage as Nocturne falls. The Malphite getting low to the Azir going to go down. The Victor may fall. Here comes MF. Not quite able to pick him up as Azir picks him up. Huge turnaround by Triple J. It's a triple kill by Azir. Quadra kill by Azir. And Mundo steals the Penta.
This is the turnaround. That was the fight, ladies and gentlemen. That was the fight that's maybe going to decide this whole game. But a thing to look at, they're not even going to maybe even get this Baron, but it looks like they are. Clearing up that vision.
With the huge turnaround in that fight, doing work. The good guy Mundo securing the kill for this Azir.
Yeah, I guess you can say SurpriseJ pulled out a pretty good surprise in that fight. But it doesn't look like it may be able to do something. They only have 2 turrets to, of course, Thanks for the Feed's 5, but maybe they'll be able to take out at least 2 and make that 4 to 5 turrets.
Looks like they're going to try to pressure this inhib turret as we still got double-digit seconds on Thanks for the Feed. Here comes Malphite, but the inhib turret is going down. Meanwhile, in the top lane, MF is pushing down the top turret. Malphite's going to look to do something about it. I'm not sure he can. He's 4 levels down. Olaf's coming in on home guards. Gonna clear up a ward as big minion waves fall into the turrets mid and bottom.
Yeah, and that lead shift in gold from that one fight has actually been quite substantial, 73k to 67k, but it's still a very close game. But those 4 dragons, that next dragon, if they survive long enough for Thanks for the Feed, that next dragon in 1 minute and 27 seconds will actually be the deciding fight for the objective.
That is very true. This is still anybody's game, even though SurpriseJ is taking a Baron buff and a 6k gold lead. It still can go either way as Thanks for the Feed has 4 dragons and looking for the 5th one here in a minute.
Yeah, that it is. It's going to be very good because if Thanks for the Feed can actually get into that strong position and actually have a team fight go their exact way with their comp, we could see a complete shift. Of course, that was the first fight that they have really lost. And of course, that might have had to do with the Baron, but it looks like a fight's going to be breaking out with
Johnny, try to get it on that Mundo mid. There it is. So Johnny looking for that fight, but really, when you got 2 tanks kind of clashing each other, it's not a fight you really want to start.
Yeah,
so
and what got me there
wisely backing up. Yeah, Dragon coming up, 30 seconds. Both teams warding. Jinx going to secure the blue buff. No reset there.
And it looks like a Blitzcrank's going in the Malphite.
Gonna get the pool. Malphite getting chunked. Looking for an ultimate. Only hits Mundo. Gonna get chunked at the back line as Azir picks it up. Victor staying safe on the back line. Mundo's trying to do work. Olaf forced back. Here comes the Mundo. Here comes the Blitzcrank. Able to force him back. Down goes to Johnny as MF picks it up with a double up. Down goes Victor as Azir picks it up with the soldiers. And the pain train just keeps rolling.
It looks like that was the fight, and that might be the game. They still have Baron, at least 3 of their members, and it looks like that might just be the game. And we might.
The pain train is coming to town.
Yeah, SurpriseJ picking down that first inhibitor.
SurpriseJ looks to try to finish this game. They have all 5 up to the 2 of Thanks for the Feed. No minions yet. Here comes the minions, slowly but surely, trying to clear it out. Not much wave clear Olaf can provide. The first tower barrier to go down. Now it falls. Azir looking to get in the back line, having to flash out. Olaf trying to pick it up. Not able to secure it as Jinx Rocket gonna get soaked up by the Nocturne. The Nexus is the focus. Half health, quarter health. Down it goes.
And there we go.
SurpriseJ
picking up that win.
Wins the game.
Yeah, it was a huge comeback victory. If we were going to have that loser's bracket, I definitely wouldn't want to face Thanks for the Feed because this game was theirs for quite a bit.
It was a back and forth game. All game. Another great game on the night. And it just shows how good some of these teams can really be. They're bringing out some great